afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Flower Patch. My name's Iris Smith and I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements for all occasions. Well, guys, I hope you are all having a fabulous day, whether it be at work, spending time with your family or friends, or even creating something beautiful. Well, I just wish to thank you all for your wonderful comments concerning the autumnal deco mesh wreath that we did yesterday. It's really very sweet of you all, guys. I get very touched by your lovely comments, and you know, it's just so heartwarming of you, and your kindness is beyond words. And you know, I can't thank you enough. I'm truly, sincerely grateful. So keep your comments coming. Right, today I've had on my business page a lady called Zara who wishes me to make a lantern arrangement, but she wants the lantern, if I had one, which I have, in black. She was quite specific in what she wanted. Majority of the things anyway. She said she did want some black fern in the arrangement and some black berries. Concerning the floral, she did say she wanted either roses, peonies, or you know, something along that sort of a size. And hydrangeas and some lavender. Concerning the greenery, apart from the black fern, she said she wasn't really sure what would go with the black fern, so she left that part of it in my hands. She did request a bow to be put on it in black and like lilac or purple. So I have done a bow, and I have done it in plain black, and they're 5.5 inches, and then I've done the lilac deco web ribbon as well, added that in just to give it a different effect towards the deep black, and then I placed just a black centerpiece in. So that's all she wanted, nothing too fancy, her words were. So that's what we're going to do today. So there's the bow, guys. I have put a candle in because there is room for a candle. But here is the black framed lantern that I have. Again, I haven't got a black or a lilac candle, so I placed in a white one, but I will take this out while we're working because I don't want it moving around. So we've got our lantern. Now the choice of foliage and floral, obviously the floral that the lady Zara picked was some black fern, which I do have. I have a bucket full of black florals and also with foliage as well. I did ask her if she wanted black eucalyptus. She said no, she just prefers the black fern, so that's fine. I have just got out 2 long pieces, well, my longest ones. I've cut them off the stem. I didn't want, you know, the whole stem, so of my 11-inch pine needles to give that spiky effect as well, and a different, you know, texture. I've also got out some foxtail fern. I've only got out, oh, there's 8 here. I thought I'd got 9 out, but there's 8 here. I've got some of that for the movement and the wispy bits. And I've also, I mean, I've got a lot on picks of the ivy that I've cut, but then I've just cut a couple of pieces or so off the some more of the garland to have some length to it, but then the ivy may also be there to scatter around as well. Now I have got out my tradescantia. Now I do have two different, another type of tradescantia. I think this is called Spacetia, tradescantia Spacetia, something like that. I can never pronounce all the words correctly, but that is another version of the another part or family member of the tradescantia. And then I've also got out my, what is more well known, the shorter leaves, is the green tradescantia, which has got a little bit of like pinky lilac veins slightly in the centre as well. So I've got those. I thought I might get out some limonium. I haven't cut this down. You do get 3 stems in a pack, but I haven't cut it down yet because I don't really know how long I'm going to need them or if I want to chop away at them. But they are absolutely beautiful. Very nice for a wedding or bouquet or anything like that. But I thought I'd add in a little bit of rough texture along with the smooth textures of the tradescantia and the ivy. Now I have got out some blackberries. I took the foliage off because it didn't look too good, so it was slightly fraying, so I wasn't going to take the chance, so I did remove it. So, but this is really black and glossy berries, so we've got that as well. Now she didn't ask for these, but these was some left in my leftover bucket, and I've got the lime green scabiosa, so I thought let's add that in. That'll go lovely against the black. And we've got one bunch of lavender that we're going to place in as well, so we'll have that. And then for our other floral, she didn't want any other floral like, you know, oh, what did she say, daisies and things like that. She just wanted a big floral and some lavender. That was it. So I've got out these peonies. They're really pretty colour. I've had them not really that long, but I've not even used them yet, so I thought, why not, let's get them used. So we're going to place in some of those as well. So that is everything we're going to do for the lovely lady Zara. So we're going to start off, and it's very similar to doing above a horizontal door swag, what goes above your door, where you're going to need some cable ties to attach it all together. So if I just move these out of the way a moment, I'm going to place the lantern just over there for now, and I will bring down our camera. So I hope you're ready for this, and it's going to be a lovely contrast against the lilac, against the deep black. So it's like an ebony black, so it's beautiful. So let's just bring our camera down, guys, and get you in a little bit closer. I'm hoping you'll be able to see. If I just place the lantern there just to see, so I've got an idea of the height that I'd like the camera to be. I'm gonna place the camera, I think, if I can just zoom in where the, I'm just gonna move that a moment. Let's lift it a little bit more. So we'll place it there. So now we can move that. So now we're going to start. Let's get rid of some bits what I was working on, left on my table. I want, first of all, 2 long pieces from our ivy. I cut 2 long, 2 sort of medium, and the rest are on picks. I know I've got a lot of picks here, guys, but I don't think I'm going to use them all. But there's the longer pieces that I want. And I've got some smaller ones here, and the rest are on picks. So let's just get those wrapped back up. Oh, and it's a wonderful day today, guys. It's really warm. I mean, because I've got no windows in my workshop, I don't feel the heat what's from outside as well as you would if I was sat outside. So, right, let's get some black. She didn't specifically say how many she wanted, and these are like, when I got them was all cut. I cut them all off the stem. So I've got to search for, oh, I've left one here. So I may, that's a long one. I may use these 2 if I can pull this out. There we go. So there's our longest ones. And I'm going to find some smaller ones. Maybe if I'm going to bring it off the side, I may have those. So let's just, because when I got these, I knew I wouldn't be placing them in as a whole stem when I did things for like Halloween, etc. So I chopped them all off the stem. It was quite long, the stem, so, but it was easier to get in the bucket. I've got a couple of long ones here as well. So let's just place that back over them. And if I need any more, I will grab some. Right. So this is what we're going to do. Again, like we did over the door. Horizontal door swag. Where we're going to be placing things opposite each other. And we will need in the, his hand in the center is this, you know, the width. Basically you go by the width of your hand for your bow where it should be placed. And I think because there's a few, I want to just measure it with the lantern because I don't want it, you know, dragging on the floor. So I may have to cut some of the stem down a bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. So where does that finish? So it's the bottom 3. So just pull them off or cut them off with your pliers, your wire cutters. If you suffer with any health issues with your hands. I'm going to measure it with this one. So they're both the same. Yeah, the bottom 3 on this one also. They are quite easy to pull off. But again, if you struggle, guys, you know, don't hurt yourselves. Right. So I'm going to want, let me just check again. Yeah, I'm going to want it around here. So the wire does come longer, for those who've never seen me do it, longer than the actual, it goes up the leaf of the fern. So we will be chopping that shorter along the way, and it's the same on the opposite side too, if you can see. It goes past the bottom leaf, if you can see that. It's just here. If I stick it up there, so it goes up to the second leaf from the bottom. So we will be cutting that down shorter. So we leave that there. Then I'm going to take the bottom leaf off on this ivy as well. And we're going to place the ivy on top again, in the same position. I'll cut this one as well. Opposite each other, like so. And again, our ribbon is going to go in the center. Now, I think, if I'm being quite, I think that would look better underneath. So let's put the pine underneath as well, opposite each other. I think they would be better because they're so big, they would be in the way of anything and blocking anything else. So I've got those all on top. Now I want these coming out from the side. I think that one's longer than the other. Yeah. Need them around there. So let's just cut that bit. So I want these as well, because we are going out of each side as well, but not as much as we have gone here. It just really needs to be a small amount. So I will place that in again horizontal, and that one as well, and we will bend them once we have fastened them in. So I'm going to get a cable tie, and I'm going to go, if I can go that way, through the bottom and attach it. And pull. Just pull tight straight away. Then I'll get another one for this side also. I want the leaf to move out the way. We will do the same on here as well. Let's just make sure everything is in. And we'll pull that as well. So then now you can clip off your cable tie, the rest of it. And that's what you have. So it's all fastened together. Nothing's going to move. So where we had the black stem from the fern, I'm going to cut it about 1/2 inch away from the cable tie that it's near. Let's just find the other one. There we go. Because I don't want it catching and hurting somebody's hands. So we have the long one here. I want this one wants to be bending outwards. There's the long one there. And then the other one to bend outwards here. So you're just basically bringing it out. So you've got that. Again, you can round off your leaves, give them a shape. You don't have to have them flat, but again, you can do that all once you've finished with your arrangement. And then again we're going to be placing our bow in the center, but we will place that further along, virtually at the end. So just move those there, because with our other tradescantia I want probably 2 coming next to the bow either side, so they will be placed in at a, you know, further along the way that we get. So I've got these, and I want to place again, now I'm placing these on top. I want 1 here, 1 here, and 1 in the middle. Again, we will bend them into position once we have attached everything, or again near the end, so everything looks like it's all just in the center there. And then I'm going to do the same here as well, place those there. Then I'm going to add in some of our berries, and I want, when I move, you know, manipulate these, I want these coming out here, and I want 1 further up, so I will keep that long, and the other ones I want shorter, so I will place those on there as well. So we have 1, let's just move that out of the way a moment, longer, and the other 2 shorter. So now we've got those, I will grab them all together in my hand like so. That's a spare one. Grab another cable tie, go around again, just make sure you've got your everything in the cable tie as you pull it. And then snip those off again. So as you can see, I'm going to keep these as they are. I think that one needs to come off, it's just slightly in the way. Let's just cut that little prong. There we go. So they're on there as well, so we don't want those either. Again, I would like these to come out either side like that. They are quite on a short stem, so I'm going to pull the last 3 off on either one. I think, let me just measure. Right, they're the same size. So they're going to go when I manipulate them there as well. So we'll place those either side also. And you just keep placing them on top of each other, and you can manipulate them as you go along. I want now these just come as single stems like this. So I'm going to place one of those on to start with before I place any others on. I'm going to place in some of our lavender as well. Let me just take that tag off. These are, I think, yes, they are push-ups. What's the daisy? We'll save that one. We may place it in the middle of the bow. So because this lavender is push-ups, just push up the leaves out of the way to give you a longer stem. So I'm going to place one there at this side near the top. That one's going to go that side, so one either side of the green tradescantia. And I'm going to do the same here, one here, and then one here. So now I want to hold these into place so these don't move around as well. So they're going to be fastened. Just grab your hand around all of the stems. Pull on that one. Bring it in. And pull on that one as well. And then snip the excess off again. So if I showed you before we carry on how I'd like things placed. So I've got this here, some ivy there. I'll bring that over here, the lavender. That can stay in the middle. Let me just grab a little black fern. Bring that out as well. Let's grab that other one. You can do this as you go along. You don't have to just do it, you know, once you've finished. So I've got, let's bring up the berries on the side, like so. That's the long one. Bring out some of our foxtail fern either side as well, because I've placed 3 in. I can just manipulate the stem. So as you can see, from that to that, it's started to fill up and it looks really, you know, quite pretty. Let's just do it like so. So then we'll bring this one out a little bit, the berry. Foxtail, let's just bring one coming out there. And the other one there. Like so. So you do have that, and again, if you wish, keep trying your bow, because that will sit there in the center and make it look really pretty. And also at the same time, keep testing it with your lantern, because we will attach it to the lantern and we will slightly bend it over at the top so it's leaning over. And also we may probably slightly bring it down a little by, you know, just manipulating everything down so it curves downwards, and it will sit like that on top. If you don't want to do it this way, you can put a piece of foam on top and attach a piece of foam on top of the lantern with some cable ties, and you can also do it that way. Right, limonium. Now, this gets everywhere. This really does get everywhere. So let's just pull one strand out. This is really, really pretty. Whoops, one's popped off. So where's that one come from? Oh, another one's popped off there. Right, I've seen one. I can see three that popped off, so I'm just going to glue those back on. There's one. There's another one here. Let's just glue that one back on. If I can get it in. There we have it. Oh, I've just pulled I've just pulled two more off. Oh my giddy aunt. What am I like? Well, that one's come off of a stem. The stem's still in the centre of it, so we won't be able to get that one back on. So let's just look where. There's one where it came from, so we'll glue that back on like that. So we've got one more. I need to see where that came from, if I can find it. Well, it must be a spare piece. No, I can't find it, guys, where it's come from. Oh well, we can place picks on those. So what I'm going to do is cut that off at the moment, and I'm going to part them. So let's just cut that one off. I don't want that one on the bottom because I need the length. And same with this one. In fact, let's just pull it off. So we've got two. One's slightly shorter than the other. It doesn't matter. Or I can use another long one. But what I want to do with these is bring a little piece. So I may use a shorter piece here. Place that there. Let's try use a shorter piece here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take that one off and use this one as well, with it being slightly shorter. We'll place that one there as well. Now I could easily bring those down there. So I think, again, we don't want the length of, with all these in the way. It will only obstruct you slightly from placing on your cable ties. So I want one down there. So I'll cut that about here. So we'll place that on top because that's going, we're going to bring that down. Let's just bring that one on top as well. The smaller ones will bring closer together. Now, oops a daisy, I've got 4 of these. I want to bring one, is going to go there. Oops, I've cut myself. One on that side. And I want two going down. So we'll place those there as well. So we're going to get our cable ties again. And we're going to go under and thread your cable tie through to hold them all in place and pull. I do place cable ties on at different stages, because if I place them all, you know, the cable tie on right at the end, you may find that you could end up missing some stems that you've placed in. So to avoid that, I do it like this. And we'll cut that one off as well. So we want one facing downwards, one facing up. We want one. I'm going to bring each side diagonally like that. Then we've got, let's get the limonium. Let me just cut this little bit of, if you, again, keep an eye on some of your long stems, because that's a little bit long and I've just caught myself on it. So we want this one. We'll force it down there. There's another long stem. And we'll manipulate it so it faces this way. And just brings a bit of prettiness going down the opposite way as well. I think that's, and bring that one there. Then got your limonium in the center, slightly lift it, give it some volume, so you have that sort of look. Again, I'm not going to bring these into slightly a little bit further. So let's grab our peonies. And these all on single stems as well. That's good. So doesn't that look fabulous against the black? So I'm going to bring one here. I don't know how many I'm going to use. Let's just see. And I'm going to want one. I may use three, either two. I may use six, because I may want to bring some here. Or let's have a look first. Just place them on. One there. I'm just going to go under, through there. I don't want it. About there. If you look, doesn't that look pretty? And we will turn the heads up. Sure that's in yet. Or do I bring those there instead? Yes, I might do that instead. So then I'm going to bring one here and one, no, sorry, one here. Let's get this right. And then one here. But before I do that, I'm going to take these off of the stem if I can, because the stem is quite thick. Let's see, you should be able to just twist at the top to release the glue. Yeah, so I make it slightly a thinner stem so it doesn't get too heavy. I'll place on make it thinner. I'll place on the thinner picks. And again, all I do, I don't just pull at these, because you could rip out the center of it. Just twist to loosen it, and then your stem should come off quite easily. So we'll do that with all of them. I'll save those stems though with the leaves, and I could use those for something else, or just twist. Oops, a daisy. A lovely colour. And lots of layers on them, what make them really pretty. Right, so now we've got those there. So I'm going to place those, one there, one there, one here. That's supposed to go there, so one here as well. One further down in the middle to form that triangle shape again with the flowers. Let's just see if I can get that. Bring it slightly down. I don't need no more. Let's move those out of the way as well. Right, so I'm going to get, again, cable ties. We're going to go through, make sure we can let me just bring it close to me, guys, so I can see. Move that there. So that will be there, like so. So we will just pull on those. These will be sitting upwards. And do the same on this side as well. Again, I'm taking my time because I want to make sure I've got everything in, and plus for you wonderful people who have never done this before, you can take it all in, what I'm saying, when I do it slower than being, you know, rushing. So then we'll lift that flower head up, lift that one, place that one in the center. Okay, just get that one up a bit more. Just so they don't sit flat. So like that. So you've got your floral in, all fastened up, all together. Doesn't that look pretty? And again, if you want to keep checking with your bow, this will sit in the center like so, along those lines. So now I'm going to place in our tradescantia, what I want at each end. I'm going to place this one on a pick as well. It's just, oh my gosh, that's long. I've pulled it all out from the oh god, I've pulled it all out from the center, guys, one by one. So I'm going to have to start with the smallest piece in the center. Oh, I need a bit more glue on than that. Let's just wipe some of that off. And then I'm just going to thread the others. Like so. I'm going to thread them through the pick. So I've got it like that. Isn't that wonderful? Really pretty. So I'm only going to have 2 of these because I want these sitting either, you know, either side like that. So I'm going to, let's place that horizontal and just bend it outwards. So that can go there. And then that one can sit, if I just place it around there. Now I've got some bits of ivy I want to just add in, not too much, just as like filler foliage. So I've just grabbed some out. Just to go alongside our peonies and to fill up those little gaps. As you can see, there's a gap there, so we're going to need something to sit in that space. So I'm going to place that there, and you can twist these leaves around so it will fill that gap. I can't really see at the moment on that side, but I've done it on this side. And we'll do the same here where the peony is. And then we'll place one just here as well. So we're filling that gap there. So again, here we go with our cable tie. I don't want to sort of like get this and make it, you know, too much to the arrangement. So just thread your cable tie through till it meets the other side. And pull that one. We will straighten it up once we're in properly. Just look underneath without catching anything. I'm just moving some of the leaves out the way. There we have it. I can thread it through. Oh, I've just pulled it back out. And pull on that one as well. Then cut those off. And then you can manipulate your stems and everything into position. So, thanks, hon.
Welcome.
Just grab that. I can't grab it. I just want to grab it and bend it. There we go. Bring it out. And let's do the same with that one. Let's see if I can do it with my finger. There we go. I've done it with my finger instead. Do this one. I'm just basically fluffing up with it, guys. That one's okay. So you can now, as you can see, I've left a gap here for the bow to sit, but you can now play around and manipulate your florals and place them in any position that you'd like to place them in. Just get that ivy showing at the bottom. Oh, I've pulled the head off of the lavender. Gosh, I'm terrible today. Let's get it back on. There we go. So I'm just getting them all in the position that I'd like them to be. Now that I want this side. So manipulate with that there to that. And that's what we've done with this. Let's bring up this limonium. There we go. So you can add more in if you want it slightly bigger. I don't, feel it needs to be adding any more in. I wouldn't think it would add much more interest. Now the limonium, I can maybe stick this in with the bow. So I'm just going to see how many pieces I have. No, that's not. got 2 lavender as well, or 3, there's one here. I don't want any more berries, so let's grab our bow, just see, fluff it up and see which where you want the tail ends, whether you want them there, whether you want them hanging down here. And because it's going down, I want the tail ends hanging lengthways, because if I had them there, then it would be more of a horizontal and it would be, you know, coming off to the side, the tail ends. So I place my bow with the tail ends going the lengthways, where it will hang over the side of our lantern. So I'm just now going to attach the bow. I've got a cable tie at the back of it, as you can see. Let's just get that. That's better. So now I've got the bow placed in, I will just snip that off. Move that across there. So again, because now I've flattened my bow, I need to be fluffing up and because I've flattened some floral as well, like peonies and in the centre. So now I've got the tail ends hanging here. I will more than likely just bring those underneath the loops, you know, just to thread them through down the bottom like so. So you can just see the bit of the colour from the ribbon there, and then fluff the rest of the bow up. So the bow now looks like it's sat within, and doesn't that look pretty? Really, really pretty. It's a lovely colour. Really. Some people are frightened to use black. Oh gosh, don't, guys. It's a, you know, it's a bold colour, but very, you know, stunning. And it goes with anything. It's like white and creams. It goes with anything. So that is now, just bend that inwards a bit. That, and we have these left over. Now I won't be placing these on picks and putting cable ties around them. I would just get those and stick them, as you can see, in where the bow is. But because we've got actually purple there and lilac, it's very, you can not really see it. So I think if I just placed 3 in, and then let's have a look. You see, I may look for a black piece of foliage, or do I use green? I think for some reason black would look really pretty. Oh, I've got a berry here actually, so I could place a berry in the centre instead. So with these 3 here, I'm just going to, you know, pop them, put a bit of glue on the tips, and stick it to the ribbon. I'm not going to, again, place on any picks. And these will just sit really pretty. In and around the black in the centre. Now I'm going to just pull this off the stem if I can. Yeah. Do I place that? I'm going to do it. I'm not going to put a stem on this either. And I'm going to stick this inside of the black centre of the ribbon. So the black ribbon in the centre, inside it, I have glued that on. So that's what we've done. We've attached our bow. We've got everything in that we need. And we are going to now attach it to our lantern. So let me just get rid of all these bits from the limonium. Let's bring in our lantern. Remember which side the door is. Place the handle to the back. We don't want that facing forward. And this is going to sit over it like that. Doesn't that look pretty? So the door is where it opens there. Yeah. So now we're going to need to get 2 cable ties, and I'm going to double up. I could get the long ones out. I may need to. And we're going to go under our swag, lantern swag, if I can. I wonder if I can go this way instead. So I'm just threading it through like I did. There's a gap I can see. So let's just grab it. Make sure we've got it the right way. And because I've got it all through here where I can thread my cable tie through, so I will position that through there. I'm just going to, maybe I didn't need a double one. I'm just going to give it right, that's one on, so I'll use another one and go here and go through this little bit. I will straighten it up in a minute, guys. I just want to get my floral on. Now you can see it looks vertical at the horizontal at the moment. So now this is where I start to bend my stems downwards. So just make sure it's at the right side. So I will lean those slightly up and bring these more down towards the surface. Oh, I've done it again. I've just pulled off a lavender. There it is. Let me just dip that in the glue. There we go. So let me just look from here. So I'm just manipulating the bottom to come down by just, you know, bending the wire. Bring that slightly up a bit. And just keep doing it till you're happy with the way it's sitting. I'm not going to just bring it there. You know, do it so it's sitting too far down. I know the pines are now touching the floor. But if that irritates you, you can just snip off the bottom of the pines so it doesn't touch. There's the odd one still touching. There we have it there. I've got some here touching, so we'll do the same here. I'm cutting it at an angle. There, so none of it now is touching the surface. So let's just fluff it and get everything sitting where you wanted it. So I will now cut off the cable ties at the back. That, and because now I can still see here at the back where our mechanics are, so I will get a leaf of anything and glue it on to where the cable ties are at the back. Let's just get a few. I'm not going to place these on picks either. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the end so it can stick to the cable tie, and I'm just going to sit it around because we want our mechanics, you know, hidden. Do the same. Just going to get another one. Again, I'm just sticking them to the cable ties at the back, and not the ones that I fastened the arrangement on, but the actual cable ties that's holding all the flowers together and the foliage. I may need one more. Take that off. And there you have it. I've just placed in a few little bits of leaves and sticking them onto the actual cable ties. That is now hidden your mechanics, and you can look around if you can see any more, and if you can, again, I mean, I can't see any, but if you can, just grab, or even, you know, we've got these bits of limonium left. You could actually place some limonium there and give it a bit of colour under the arrangement to just make it look like your arrangement is coming out from underneath as well, just to give it that extra little bit of touch and interest underneath, so it doesn't look like it's just plain. Add in your colour. And let it just come out from the side. And I'm going to place one just behind there, so that can sit further up. I think I've also got lavender, and I could place and take the lavender head off as well. I'll just place one on, no, you know, no more than one. It's not really needed, just to give it a little bit of a different floral, just there. So that, I mean, how are these sat? Oh, they're individual. That is our arrangement for the lovely lady Zara. It was requested purple with some black, and on a black lantern. Very nice colour choice. Again, this, you could have this for Halloween as well. You could just have it as an all year round, depending on what your decor is in your house. If you've got like a black banister or something like that, you could have it at the, you know, top of your stairs next to the banister. I'm just looking for the, it's here. Let's see what it looks like with the candle in. So yes, at the top of the stairs, excuse me, next to the, you know, if you have a black banister or something, or if you have black furniture, you know, that would look really, really pretty with that as well. Or if you have like a, you know, a black coffee table, because some people have black furniture. I used to. If you've got like black leather sofa, you know, sofa, it would look pretty against that as well. So let me just stand back, have a quick look. That could do with lifting a little bit more, or so bend it, you know, it's not going to hurt it. Let's have a look at the back. Is it showing any mechanics? No. So I'm going to just lift up the camera a little bit. And we're going to just, I know you can see it actually. So I may keep it like that while I chat. I may do that. So guys, what do you think to purple and black, or lilac and black? I think it's very pretty, and just by even adding a little bit of a lime green, you know, it sits well against the dark black, and obviously the lilac sits beautiful. And just adding a little bit of a lighter foliage, what has a tint of the purple or lilac in, well, more lilac pink in the leaf as well. And just some long pieces just to elongate that length, and just to, you know, make it look longer. And by placing pointed foliage as well, that will give you know, that length and that how it shapes, you know, the line of your arrangement going down to the end, to the tip, and also to the top as well, where it will give that look as it's just pointing off up to the top. So it's basically, you're doing, it's wider in the center, then it just goes down to a point like a diamond shape. That's what you're trying to aim for. And always place your bow in, you know, I always say place your bow in at the end, because you can't really work around placing other stems in when you've placed your bow in, because you need to have the stems on top of each other first, when your bow is there to hide the mechanics basically underneath. So that is for that. And then some, you know, just adding a few little berries, just some little wispy, like the limonium, something very fine. If you haven't got limonium, you could use anything like gypsophilia, seed heads, you know, oh my gosh, heather, things like that. What are small, but just got a different little texture, rough, and with the black foliage again. I've brought this out to the side because you want to see it at the side as well, so it blends in with the lantern as well as the berries as well. Bring some of those out to the side, form that diamond shape with the berries as well when you're placing them in. And maybe add a bit of ivy at the bottom, to give that long wispy feel as well, elongating it. Or if you haven't got ivy, I mean, I've got it in abundance at the moment because I've just ordered lots of it, getting ready for Christmas, but if you haven't got ivy, you could, basically use some, if you've got twiggy bits, use some twiggy bits. If you've got, I'm trying to think, guys, here, if you've got just like wispy oriental ruscus that I've got, where that's like on a vine, you could use that as well. Or if you've got any other vines or trailing floral which has got wiring, because you don't want it to flop. You basically need, when it comes to things hanging at the bottom and at the top, you need something that's got a wire in it to give it that strength to hold in place, instead of the top part flopping over. And then if you had placed in ivy, what's not really got any wire in the main stem, it would just go in and just droop down. So the only way to conquer that is by placing something like the ivy. If it hasn't got wiring, place it on top of something that has wire in it and can support it from flopping. So like here with the fern, that's really heavy wired. It's really quite strong, the wire, and thick inside. Just get your ivy. If it's flopping and there's no wire in the main stem, sit it on top of your fern, so then your fern will keep it in place and prevent that floppiness. So that's another way you can do it. And you can also do the same principle at the top as well. And obviously if you had ivy going here and you've got ferns again, lean them on top of the fern or any other foliage you may be using that's got wire and a bit of more strength, so it can support any trailing foliage that's not got wire in. And you don't have to really overdo it with these sort of arrangements. As you can see, the main flower I've got in here is, like the Lady Zara wished for, is peonies, and the limonium is a flower as well. And that is it. Oh, sorry, tell a fib, and the scabiosa. So they are just 3 flowers that we've got in here. The rest is foliage and berries. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I quite like that. Well, I like everything, but I'm just considering, because we've just got the plain black here, I was just considering, because it's at the front, to put a bit of purple there. So I may pull that lavender head off again. Let's just make sure I put enough glue on it. And then I'm going to just stick it onto the fern, and I'm on one of the leaves of the fern, so it's just popping out there. And you can do that once you've finished. If you feel it's a little bit bland in areas and you've still got some floral left, place it on, and stick it to the actual arrangement or the leaf of another foliage, just to add in that little bit of colour. I do have one more. I could place another one with it, but have it slightly longer, and I can just chop it off to about there, but then stick this stem onto another piece of foliage, because obviously we've placed everything in. So I may just place that and put it there as well. So now we've got 2, and it doesn't look so bland in that area. And if you feel the same around here, or anywhere else that you may look around your arrangement that it's needed, just pop something small on like that, and it will just, you know, add that extra little interest and also balance out your arrangement, that it looks really, really pretty. So I think that is wonderful. I'm glad the lady asked for purple and black. It's not very often you see people doing things like that unless it's Halloween. You know, the lady didn't say that this was for Halloween. You know, so I hope that's helped her and create one for herself. And I'll probably put that up there because I do quite like that. So I hope you have a wonderful day, guys, and I hope you give it a go. Even if it's on a different coloured lantern, you know, just try and think of the colour choice of that lantern. If it's grey, try and think of florals that will actually go with that colour grey. Because sometimes, you know, you really do have to consider colour when it comes to choosing containers. Because the most important thing any customer or family or friend look at or look for when buying flowers is the colour. And if it doesn't match with the container, it wouldn't look pleasing to the eye, it would look odd, and they probably wouldn't purchase it. So, you know, I just like to get that, you know, when I show people what to do concerning, you know, if you have certain coloured containers, or like this one, a lantern. If you've got a gold lantern, then maybe you could, you know, gold will go with purples. It looks lovely with purples. You could, you know, and bring it in with some champagne colours and white. You know, that would look pretty. And it would also go with blues as well. You could, if you had a white container, now that you can go anywhere with a white container, because, you know, it will, well, it's neutral. It will go with absolutely anything. So, you know, and just take things like that into consideration. Whatever container you've got and colour, try to add that in with your floral, if that makes sense. Right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you again for all your wonderful, wonderful comments, guys. I really, 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 from my heart, do appreciate it. You know, it really does mean so much, and it's very, very touching. Occasionally, I do get a tear in my eyes when I get comments, and yeah, you catch me out sometimes, but hey, that's not a bad thing. That's just me, you know, feeling honoured, you know, and I don't know what the word is, but I'm just proud to be able to do things for you. So have a wonderful day, guys. Take care, good health, and God bless. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Right, so let's just have a quick close-up, guys. Let's bring it in. Right, there are the wonderful, wonderful peonies. Aren't they pretty? Cabbage ones, I think they was called. And then you have your lovely silk scabiosa, and then your limonium there, which is wonderful. I used a lot of that when I did real flowers. And then you've got your glossy black berries. And if you look at the tradescantia, do you see the purple lilac in the centre, which goes beautiful with it? And then the other sort of tradescantia, which is longer leafed, with the purple around the edges on that as well. Then our lavender, our lovely foxtail fern, our beautiful black fern, and some green pine, long leafed, which adds, you know, a wonderful finish, like a top and tail, you know, with it being at the top and at the bottom. Looks really, really pretty against that. And then obviously some of our hanging ivy as well. And let's not forget the bow with our deco web bow and the ebony black plain bold ribbon in silk, but it is wired as well. So I hope you like that, guys, and I hope you give it a go. Take care, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.